Hey Pisces, what's going on? I hope you're very well. My name is Madam Butterfly, for those of you that don't know me. And we're going to do a general reading. We're just going to keep pulling cards. I got lots of different cards. We're going to keep pulling cards until the message is done. And just see what comes out. It's probably going to be quite a long reading, but obviously you don't have to, watch it all at once. You can watch it in little bits or whatever you want to do, right? And come back to it later. Sometimes it takes me like a week to watch a whole reading. And you are so welcome here, like whether you're new to the channel or you're one of my lovely subscribers, you're very welcome here, and I want to say thank you very much for taking the time to check out the reading. I appreciate it very much, and hopefully the reading will resonate with you and you'll enjoy it, Pisces, and if it does, and hopefully it'll be useful as well, and if it does and you feel like liking and subscribing for me, I'd appreciate that very much as well, because it really helps out the channel. It helps people find me, in YouTube, so I don't get buried underneath the algorithm. Oh, very nice. Oh, Aquarius had that too. You have the dolphin. Live joyfully in the present. So definitely a little message here about not worrying so much, Pisces, like either worrying about the future or, kind of perpetually living in the future, or like maybe living in the past. Could be as well. You have the tiger. We're going to take both of those. You have the tiger, accept your magnificence, Archangel Raphael. And you have the elephant, open yourself up to true abundance. That's another Archangel Raphael card. So Archangel Raphael is heavy in this reading. So there's a little message here about, I feel like you're kind of always worrying, right? Kind of either you're sort of living in the past a little bit, or you're worrying about the future too much, but either way, kind of worrying about things that have gone wrong, or things that you could have changed, or things that you could have done different in the past, or maybe like still rehashing like negative things that have gone on in the past, but it's time to live in the present, because that is really the only place you can ever be joyful, because if you're living in the past, I can't remember what that phrase is. I know there's a phrase about living in the past and living in the future, but if you're living in the past, you're just kind of rehashing old events that are done. That's not who you are anymore, and it can't be changed, right? So there's no point in continuously kind of living in the past, because it brings it into the present. And if you're constantly worried about the future, then you're not actually enjoying your life right now. And I feel like once you release this, there's something here about kind of stepping into your power, like really accepting who you are, accepting your magnificence. And I feel like once you do this, it's going to help you stop worrying so much, and it's going to really open you to true abundance, because I feel like maybe for some of you there's a bit of a lack mindset going on here. Yes, I feel like that's the message there. More might come through in a minute, but I feel like that is the message. Because you might have a bit of a lack mindset from things that have gone wrong in the past, like maybe relationships have not worked out in the past, so you're like, well, they're not going to work out in the future then, because I'm basing that on what happened in the past, so it can't work out, right? Or like maybe you grew up with with not so much money, or your parents had a bit of a lack mindset because they came from poverty or something, right? And now you're kind of always in that kind of lack scarcity mindset. It's like, so it creates a block, you know what I mean, for abundance. So abundance I feel like it's not quite getting in, but it should be. It's right there, like it's waiting for, it's waiting for you to accept it so it can come in. And the only way to do that is to live in the present. So meditation, making sure you're grounding yourself, like going out for walks, because often you can kind of outwalk your thoughts. I do that quite a lot, like just keep walking until you can't think anymore, right? Or exercise is another way to do that if you're as unfit as I am. That pretty much takes up your whole brain, right? It does for me anyway. Pretty tough to think when you're doing those squats. or you know, cooking or whatever, like whatever it is for you, reading a book, you know, adult coloring books are pretty good as well, listening to music, dancing, singing, anything to ground yourself and get yourself in the present moment. Okay, so you have the Violet here, create a balanced life. There's a few messages with this card, all right? Number one, it's the color of the third eye. So I feel like if your third eye was not open before, it's going to be starting to open a lot now, okay? And Pisces are a very psychic sign anyway, so you might want to get yourself kind of prepared, like, because when the third eye starts opening, you start seeing things very clearly. Like, it helps you see through the veil. So, you know, like if some of you are natural mediums or natural channels or natural healers, that will come through very easily. You'll probably like you'll find yourself a lot more drawn to certain things, but also you will find that you are more easily able to see through the bullshit down here in 3D land. It's also a number 9, so I feel like you're at the end of a cycle. This is you literally about to step into a new cycle, and it's going to be filled with abundance. You're going to be feeling super confident because you're finally going to realize how awesome you are, and part of that is engaging with your psychic gifts. You know, because maybe you've actually been in a place where, you know, you're so worried about the future, or you're thinking about the past, and you're not really engaging with your psychic gifts. But I feel like once you start doing that, it's going to give you a lot more peace. The more that you manage to live in the present moment, the more that your gifts will come through. Okay, because more messages will come through, you'll be directed towards the right place, you know. But there's a lot of abundance that wants to come through for you. And also creating a balanced life. You might be working too hard, Pisces, or there might not be enough fun in your life, you know. Let me get one more from this deck. What else for Pisces, please? Ooh. Yep. We're going to take both of those because they came out together. Just put him back. Yep. Oh my god, you have gold, attract abundance. And it's a number 3 card. So this is about growth. You have a lot of abundance coming towards you, Pisces. And obviously that can talk about money. I feel like the money will be there. But, you know, true abundance is like, it's when literally all your needs are met. You know, it's getting up in the morning and feeling truly happy. Because I think of it, like, the way I think of it is like wealth is money, but abundance is when like all your needs are met and you're so happy. You know, so having enough money, like living a balanced life so that you're not constantly working, you know, living in the present so you're actually happy, attracting healthy relationships, you know, growth, getting in touch with your psychic gifts. Because often you will find that if you are feeling discontented, it's actually because you're kind of not engaging with spirit enough. Because often that is the thing that you are looking for, you know, because people look for it in lots of different ways, you know, like they feel kind of empty, so they, you know, they try and get money, right? Try and get lots and lots of money, so like they become a banker, or they, I don't know, they get, you know, they take a job where they're working themselves into the ground, or they try and get famous, right? Like Russell Brand was saying that, like, you know how he's got into all the like spiritual stuff now, like he was saying, you know, when he was younger, he thought like fame and money were gonna fill that hole, right? That didn't work. Some people think a person is gonna fill it, right? Some people think, you know, some people turn to alcohol or like shopping, you know, to try and fill it. But actually, usually the only way you can fill it is like a true relationship with spirit and a true relationship with your core being, which is something that you can't really have unless you meditate, basically, in my opinion. And you have apricot here, rejoice and laugh. So yeah, definitely, because this is a thing, like, you know, laughter and joy and being happy actually attracts abundance. Like, it actually, it's much easier for you to connect with spirit and to connect with abundance and to connect with all the things that Spirit wants to bring you, if you're happy and you're laughing and you're feeling grateful, like, you know, this is something that will actually attract abundance. But I feel like you have money. I do feel like there's money coming towards you. Like, you're gonna have everything you need. So, you know, you need to stop worrying so much, because that's blocking it. And I know that's easier said than done, but discipline, you know, catching those negative thoughts, like making sure that you're meditating, or like at least doing something mindful, like going for a walk, or like cooking, or anything that you can do. Because I know not everyone has the time to be walking around all the time, but anything that you can do, because it will help calm your thoughts, and it will direct you to the right place to make money, you know, or like ideas for making money, or like ideas for saving money, right? Or like it'll be attracting the right relationships and things. Where does that go? Here? This abundance is really coming in. It wants to come in quite fast, because you have the Knight of Swords here. Time to move quickly, choose logic over emotion, sudden changes. I mean, I wouldn't pay too much attention to what's written down there for this one, but the Knight of Swords is something happening quite fast. I feel like you have abundance coming towards you quite fast, like growth and abundance. Things might happen, yeah, there's going to be some sudden changes for you, Pisces, which is another reason to make sure you're grounded, because even if it's something nice, you can become quite easily overwhelmed, right? Also with the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords, it's not so much about choosing logic over emotion, it's like making sure your own emotion is not getting in the way, like making sure you're not getting in your own way. For example, like all these thoughts that are rushing through your head at the moment, that needs to stop. You need to start meditating to clear your head, because I feel like you're getting yourself, or you have been in like a negative mindset, and it's because you're kind of worrying too much. And because basically when you're worrying, you're saying to the universe, like, I don't believe I'm gonna get this, right? And meditation, like, it doesn't completely get rid of the negative thoughts, but it does to an extent, because it's putting you, because you're coming inwards, you're not so concerned with like the external things. It gives you a lot more peace, and it does actually stop you worrying, because you're not thinking about like, oh my god, how am I, you know, like what's going to happen in 10 years, or like, oh my god, like that thing in the past that I did 12 years ago was so embarrassing, like, oh my god, I'm going to think about that for 3 hours. You're much more in the present and enjoying your life. And maybe, you know, your worrying will extend to the next, or your thinking will extend to like the next hour, when you're like, maybe I'll have a salad for dinner. Do you know what I mean? Like this kind of thing. Okay, yeah. I think it's the past you're thinking about here. You have well, it could be either. You have the Four of Cups here, and it's come underneath the dolphin, live joyfully in the present. So it could very well be something about the past. You know, the Four of Cups is like, because the Four of Cups is someone bringing you, like the universe is trying to give you opportunities, and that could be a new job, it could be money, it could be a person, you know, it could be a new psychic skill that's trying to open up that would lead you to abundance. It could be like learning a new skill that would lead you to abundance. But with the Four of Cups, it's possible some of you had, like maybe some of you are reluctant to get into a relationship because you were cheated on in the past, or something went like awry in the past. But it's like you're distracted, you know, it's like the universe is trying to give you this cup of an opportunity, or possibly many opportunities, but you're kind of distracted by the other 3 cups, right? Whatever that is for you. So make sure you're not missing out on opportunities because you're too busy, like your brain is not clear and you're too busy worrying. Like, be aware of your emotions. You know, it might be time to start writing them down, or at least saying it out loud, you know, like what you're feeling at the moment, and like trying to understand, like, why am I feeling that? Because maybe you're just sitting around being like, oh my god, I'm anxious. you know, but once you put a label on it, it's like, oh, I'm anxious, like why am I anxious? And then you're like, I don't know, I don't have a reason to be anxious. I have everything I need at the moment, you know? There's no reason for me to be anxious, because I feel it's almost like your anxiety and your stress is blocking out opportunities. Okay, and you have the moon here. So actually the first thing I picked up with that, Pisces, is the moon often talks about psychic gifts and intuition. So it's time for you, for all of you, to accept that you do have this very strong intuition, and many of you probably have very strong psychic gifts, because that tends to be a water sign thing. Pisces are usually very intuitive, you're usually very psychic. So for some of you, you may have been blocking this out. Or like I said, you may have been worrying so much that it's like you haven't been focusing on it, you know? Because you're always worrying, but it's time to bring your attention back to these gifts that you have. But to use them in a productive way, because like, for example, maybe you're into tarot, right? But you're kind of using it almost to like, because tarot is a tool to predict the future, but it's actually much more useful if you use it as a tool for reflection. Like, if, you know, because it's they're usually telling you what you need to work on to bring in what the future holds, right? But maybe you're like focused on one person when you're using the tarot. You're like, oh my god, what is he thinking now? Or like, what is she thinking now? Or like, when is the money going to come in? Blah 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 blah. But actually what you should be doing is using it to be like, okay, what's the guidance? What should I do here? Yeah, definitely listen to your intuition. The moon is also about accepting fears, like subconscious fears and anxieties. So I feel like it's time to face them. It may well be time for you to start doing some journaling. You know, like writing down, I'm not going to explain journaling because it's quite in depth, but you can Google that if you want to do it, or at least writing down your thoughts, or even saying it out loud to yourself, you know, or like listening to some frequencies for confidence, or listening to some subliminals, you know, that you would like to release emotions. Because I think, yeah, there's basically a little bit of shadow side that you're dealing with here, or you need to deal with it, because it's kind of it's stopping you from seeing your own magnificence, essentially. And when you do this, it seems to lead to some kind of opportunity, because it has the opportunity to improve your plans here. So I feel like once you do this, it's almost going to be like a floodgate, like things are going to start flowing. And listen, these subconscious fears have been with you for a long time, right? You maybe even brought them in from a past life. So, you know, if you listen to a subliminal once and it doesn't fix everything immediately, don't give up, right? Because you have to keep doing it, right? Because I know how easy it is to be like, oh, well, fuck it, I'm not going to do it then because it doesn't work. But if you think about it, like if you've had that with you since you were 10 and you're 30 now, that's 20 years. You're going to have to listen to it, you know, it might take a month, might take 3 months, might take 6 months, might take 5 years, right? But it will get better the more that you do it. My god, look, you have shine. Underneath the elephant, open yourself up to true abundance, you have the sun. You have so much abundance, love, happiness, security, money wanting to come in to you. However, I feel like it comes in when you are willing to let yourself shine. That's when I feel like it comes in. Like when you are willing to kind of deal with these anxieties, and like, because for example, like maybe you're a bit shy, right? I'm just going to take an easy one, right? I'm not saying you're shy, but say you were shy, right? You're not born shy, right? I mean, some people are born introverted. I am, you know, that's a different thing, but nobody's born shy. So the shadow work there would be to be like, okay, so where did I pick that shit up? Like, where did that come from? Did that come from childhood? Or did that happen like when I had, you know, a group of friends that constantly shot me down when I was in my teens? Or maybe I had a shitty relationship where someone constantly told me like, stop talking, you're always wrong, right? It's like trying to figure out where it comes from, because once you've done that, it's like the spell is broken, and you can start applying that to every part of your life, right? I hope that made sense. Okay, what else for Pisces, please? So you have the Eight of Swords here underneath Violet. Create a balanced life. Helpless and hopeless. Okay. So let me just pull another card. Yeah, I feel like you've been feeling really stuck, you know, with the Eight of Swords. And often, see, the Eight of Swords, you know, in the Rider-Waite, it's like the person, and she's surrounded by like a very loose circle of swords, and her hands are tied or something, but they're tied very loosely, like she can get out of it. So it's like a mental prison that you're in, that you kind of got yourself into. But it often comes, the Eight of Swords often talks about a lack of confidence. So see, the thing is, the more it seems to all come back to this meditation for you and being like being present. It was very similar reading for Aquarius. Maybe some of you have Aquarius in your chart, but the more that you kind of sit with yourself, I feel like your third eye is going to open a lot. Like, it may already be very open, but I feel like it's going to open more, okay? And it's going to allow you to see things for the way that they really are. See how like the sun is coming out? It's almost like you were stuck, and then the light kind of goes off like ding, and you start to see things as they really are. And then that kind of leads the way for you, you know, because I'm sure this person couldn't see the stairs in front of them before the sun came out, right? But now that the sun has come out, or the sun is about to come out, and you're about to see things as they really are, excuse me, Pisces, like you're going to be able to move forward. You know, so for example, like you may have spent your whole life kind of being a little bullied by people, right? Or you may feel like, oh, like I don't understand, like people always seem to bully me, like I'm really nice, I don't really understand why. But then when your third eye opens, like when you start sitting with yourself and doing the shadow work and thinking about these things, and maybe thinking about why it happened, you might start to realize, oh, like those people were threatened by me, right? And then it'll kind of release you, because you'll be like, oh, but they were just trying to stop me from talking because they were threatened by me and they wanted to seem better than me, right? So they wanted to put me down. And also, you know, it'll help you to be like, oh, the reason that they did that is because, you know, they don't have a lot of self-esteem themselves, or maybe they had something going on at home, or maybe they were abused by their parents when they were children or something, right? And that's where they got it from. And it will also allow you to forgive those people and move on, because you don't forgive people for them, you do it for you, right? So you can ascend and get out of that bullshit, right? Because you don't want to be, you can't ascend unless you forgive. Okay, you have the Eight of Earth, Eight of Pentacles. Kind of looks like you're going to learn a new topic. Eight of Pentacles here, because it's come out underneath abundance. You're going to learn something. You're going to learn a new skill, and it's going to come kind of out of nowhere. Sorry, my camera cut out. It's going to attract a lot of abundance for you. So this may involve like learning a course, you know, online or something. It may involve studying something at school, or it may be you just learn something that you can do that's going to make you money. But you're going to be very skilled for it, and I feel like you're going to make a name for yourself about it. Maybe not immediately, but you're going to be very dedicated to whatever this is, because you're going to know a lot about it. That's interesting. Okay, what else for Pisces, please? Yeah, so listen, take whatever opportunity comes towards you, all right? Four of Cups, do not let opportunities pass you by. So like if you're particularly, I don't know, say you're cruising the internet and you find like an advert for, I don't know, tarot reading or something, for example, right? And you kind of and you and you're like, I don't know, should I do this? I don't know if I'd be good at that. I don't know what I would do with it. You know, I've trained as things in the past and it hasn't worked out for me. Or like maybe somebody asks you out, right? And you're like, I do like you, like I do fancy you, but like, I don't know, you know, I've been very hurt in the past. I don't know if I'm willing to give you a chance. They're saying go for it, okay? Don't let opportunities pass you by because of being distracted by things that happened in the past or worrying about the future too much. Because obviously you have to be concerned about the future, right? Otherwise, you know, you would have no food or money or anything like that. But worrying about it doesn't do any good. Planning, now that's a different thing. Planning, making a plan, that's fine. But like sitting fretting about it isn't going to make any difference. And you have the Knight of Wands here. So listen, something's going to come very fast. Some kind of new opportunity or some kind of opportunity is coming towards you very, very fast. A sudden event that needs immediate attention, time is of the essence. So somebody might just randomly, like for example, they might randomly offer you a job. And your first instinct is to be like, no, don't do that, okay? Don't do that. I would just say yes. You know, like if they need an answer, say yes, and then you can always go back and say no later, right? Or someone asks you out, like say yes, right? Because it's something that happens suddenly. Like you might be given an opportunity to lead a group, for example, and because you're, I don't know, maybe like these subconscious fears kind of kick in and you're like, I can't do that. I can't lead a group. Yes, you can. Like Spirit doesn't give you opportunities like that unless they think you can do it. And also the person wouldn't be offering it to you unless they thought that you could do it, right? Like someone wouldn't be asking you out unless they wanted to be with you, for example, right? Okay, you have the Knight of Cups. That is wild. You have the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. Okay. Yeah, you definitely need to balance your emotions here, okay? Because this moon is right in the center, so I feel like, and obviously the moon is also your card, Pisces, so there's a real need here for you to stop letting subconscious fears and anxieties, you know, rule the roost here. Like, you need to deal with them. You need to balance these emotions, and the way to do that is like meditation, breath work, journaling, you know, sitting with your feelings. This could also be love for some of you. You may have love coming towards you with the Knight of Cups there. Like someone might ask you out. But I feel like there's two things. It's very similar to Aquarius. With the Knight of Swords and abundance, I feel like there's an opportunity here to learn something new. And it's going to make you abundant. For some of you, that could be something to do with like creativity and art. Like it might involve giving of yourself, like opening yourself up to the world in some way, you know, like expressing art or writing or maybe being in the spotlight a little bit or something like that. But it could also be like in addition to that, someone might be coming in to offer you love here. Okay, you have, I think it says Ebens, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Ebens I think. Mystery, reading between the lines, intuition. Isn't he cute? I think he's so cute. So your intuition, I feel like there's something to do with your intuition is going to make you some money. Like it's going to lead you to, like once you open yourself up, to the world, like it's something to do with your intuition and being able to read between the lines. Let me just quickly grab the book. Where's that one? Let's see if it says anything else. Yeah, it's like intuition. There may be like whatever this is, you might not know what this is yet. Like whatever this opportunity is that's coming towards you might be a bit of a mystery, because you might be sitting here watching this being like, I have no idea what you're talking about coming towards me. But that's okay that you don't know. It's okay that you don't know, because at the moment you're kind of learning to open yourself up. Because the thing is, it could be more than one thing that's coming towards you, like in terms of attracting abundance. Like you might have your fingers in a lot of different pies. Also, I want to say with this little guy, see how big his head is? I feel like you have a lot of knowledge. I feel like there's something here about you kind of, it's like a combination of using, because you have the moon and the sun here as well, so it's like a combination of, it's like letting your intuition shine. Because you're Pisces, you have a naturally very, very strong intuition. Like you have a natural, kind of easy connection to the other side, you know, through the veil. Like you guys have an easy connection for that, and I feel like you kind of hide it away. And I don't know if that's because you're kind of ashamed, like maybe you grew up in that kind of background where you're like, ah, spiritualism, they're all hippies, they're crazies, don't listen to them. Or you're just kind of worried that people are going to make fun of you, or I don't know, you're just worried that you're going to be wrong, or you're going to give people, like, I don't know, it's like say you're a tarot reader, like maybe you're going to get something wrong, but that's okay if you get things wrong. You know what I mean? Like that's how you're going to learn. And the thing is, I would be very surprised. Because the thing is, when you are getting things wrong, it's usually because you're kind of blocking it, because you're overthinking it, right? So I feel like once you get more into a place where you're not blocking it and you're not worried all the time, it's going to flow very naturally. What else for Pisces, please? Okay. Oh my god, that's wild. Excuse me for 1 second, Pisces, please. Sorry, Pisces. So yeah, this card is the third eye card. So this has come out underneath the violet. Remember I was saying about the third eye with the violet? Visions, manifesting, meditation. So your third eye is going to be, it may already be like this, and you know, maybe this is why you clicked on the reading, because you were looking for like a message about this, but your third eye is about to become wide open. So definitely, if you're not already meditating and you can make yourself do it, because it's going to make you very, very powerful. It's going to make you very, very centered, you know, not self-centered, but centered within yourself, right? Excuse me, Pisces. Some of you are mediums. For sure. Like you might actually channel, like physically with your voice. Some of you. Some of you are also seers, okay, because you have visions here. So some of you are seers, like you're able to see how things are going to play out, or you know, you're able to just see what's happening with someone. Your third eye opening is going to really help you manifest what you want as well, because it's almost like you've been in the darkness and you've been feeling maybe a bit just like you're chasing your tail, like going round in circles, but I feel like you're breaking the cycle. Do you know what I mean? And also with Eben's here, see, I feel like, if I can pick him up, see how his little face is kind of, it's like he's holding back, right? It's like he's pursing his lips. You see what I mean? So I feel like you're not going to be doing that anymore, because I feel like you've had all this intuition and like you've been getting all these messages and you hold it back because you're worried. I don't know, maybe you're worried about getting too much attention. You feel like people are not going to like it, but you may have brought that in from a past life, you know, or maybe like, I don't know, you were bullied in school when you got a lot of attention or something, so you've held back. But I see you not holding back anymore. Like you're just going to be like letting it shine. Because the thing is, right, see when you're kind of holding back and you're not really engaging with the world, there's only so many ways that the universe can bring you abundance, you know? Whereas when you're open and you're willing to accept opportunities and you're willing to open your mind to things that maybe you wouldn't have done before, like leading a group, for example, right? It gives the universe like a lot more different ways to bring you what you want. What else for Pisces, please? Am I just dropping these, or yeah, I feel like I'm just dropping them. What else for Pisces, please? Maybe there's nothing from this deck. Let's see what these are. Yeah, okay. You have spaceship. Excuse me, Pisces. Oh my god. Some of this is to do with your throat chakra. Excuse me, because you have the spaceship. Don't be afraid to sing. And I'm definitely reading that one from the book. She says it so much better than I can, because otherwise I'll just be rambling. And then you'll see why I'm talking about your throat chakra being closed. Because I can tell, because they've done this to me. Take it off now. Thank you. You've been made to believe that your voice, that your unique point of view in this world isn't worth very much. Let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. Your words are worth all the stars in the night sky. So don't forget to sing whenever you have the chance. Your voice is powerful enough to sink a dozen spaceships. And you have the sword, make the change. So, you know, maybe don't chop off all your hair, right? That seems a bit extreme, because her hair seems gorgeous. Like, please don't cut your hair. You also have 2 sevens here, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But yeah, there is a big life change you've been thinking of making for a while now. This is a sign that you need to trust your instincts and take the leap. Whether you're thinking about cutting your hair or finding a job better suited for you, do the thing and do it with confidence. So I feel like there's something, it's like you've been afraid to be heard. It's very similar to Aquarius's reading, but yours seems to be more focused on your intuition. Like, I feel like Aquarius were more focused on, like, they have a gift with communication, but you just have like a very, very strong psychic gift of like, it's going to be different for different people, but it's your intuition. Like I said, for some of you, you're definitely like a medium. You may even channel, like, through your voice. Do you know what I mean? Some of you, like I said, you're seers, but you need to make a change. You need to start doing the shadow work and sitting with yourself and trying to figure out what it is that's holding you back. Like, the reason, like, for example, if you're telling yourself you're shy, you need to understand, like, you need to try and figure out why you think that, because you weren't born shy. And also with the sevens, 2 sevens in tarot, like, when you have a 7 in tarot, it usually talks about, for one thing, the universe is giving you an opportunity and they want to see what you're going to do with it. So you're kind of almost in no man's land, because you've closed down an old cycle, but you haven't yet stepped into the new one. So I feel like that's kind of where you're at the moment. We're gonna get a couple of these ones. But it's fear. There's some kind of fear that's holding you back, and it may be you're not even aware of it consciously. See the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. I have never even seen that card. So some of you see auras, some of you have visions. Now there's different ways of having visions. Some of you, like, your visions might come at night when you're sleeping. Some of you might actually, when you're talking to someone and they're asking your advice, the spirit might put images in your head of how things are going to go, and you just dismiss it, right? Or you're ignoring it because it's almost like you're blocking it out because you're too worried. Like, I feel there's just a general anxiety here with you, and it's actually blocking out your intuition. Yeah, for sure. So because there's a few ways that you could be sharing that with people if that's what you wanted to do. I mean, you could, like in the tarot, sometimes you get kind of visions of what's going to happen, right? Or like if you're choosing to learn Reiki, when you've been trained and stuff, like sometimes when you're working with like all that energy, like a vision of what's going to happen will come through. Or you might just have clairsentience where you just know things. You just know what's going to happen. And you don't have any reason for thinking that, but you just know, right? So you have a neighbor holds the key to your next project. Keep in touch. That is bizarre. I've never seen that message. So it kind of looks like maybe someone you know, at least for some of you. It's interesting that it's next to make the change. So maybe some of you are about to move and this person will be your neighbor. Or that could be a friend. But definitely, like, keep in touch with people around you, because there may be someone like that literally lives next to you or lives very close to you or you're friends with, has some kind of opportunity for you. Or maybe someone you already work with or something. And you have, see your circumstances as a blessing because they offer a chance to grow. That was kind of a little extra card that came out. So you may not be exactly where you want to be at the moment, but they're saying, like, don't see what you've been through. Particularly, that's what I want to say. Like, it's time for you to kind of release the past. Because the things that you've been through in the past, these were the things that allowed you to grow. And also, you may be going through some stuff just now. But I feel like whatever it is you've been through in the past and whatever it is you're going through now, it's actually been a very useful tool for you to heighten your intuition. Whoa, okay. So you have faith. Let's come out under the third eye. You have enlightenment and you have wisdom. That's mental. So this is another third eye card with faith here. I am going to read the book because the book's usually, like, in particular in this deck, it has some really good insights. And you have enlightenment here, the solar plexus. So the solar plexus is all about I can, so I feel like this is because this has come out underneath the sun where she's shining, like opening yourself up here. So I feel like, and actually that kind of, it's almost the same, it's actually almost coming out of her solar plexus, see? I feel like your solar plexus is about to, like you may have been working on your solar plexus and it's about, you're about to get a lot of confidence, right? Because the solar plexus is all about I can. I will also leave a meditation for the solar plexus, if I remember. Was that Aquarius? I think I said that for. I was going to leave Aquarius like a a throat chakra meditation, and I will leave for you, I will leave the solar plexus meditation. Because the solar plexus is all about having motivation to follow your dreams because you believe that you can do it and you believe you deserve it, right? And you have wisdom here, the heart chakra. So I'm just going to check the book. So for faith, we are all wounded. Some wounds are easily recognized while others are not. Forge ahead and do not allow your pain to hold you back. You are meant to inspire others, and if you do not carry on, they will suffer. It is time to deliver your message. See, your third eye is like wide open. You have messages to deliver to people, and it's something to do with like I said, you could be mediums. There's people that are crying out for like evidence that there is something beyond the shitty world that we see, right? And like messages from deceased loved ones. You know, you might be like I said, you might work with auras, you might have visions, but there's something to do with like your third eye opening and your intuition. You have messages to deliver. I am more than I think I am. I'm actually going to read the whole thing, even though it's long. Peggy is terrified. She can't see past the wall in front of her, and it is preventing her from moving forward. She cries out for help. The great spirits appear and tell her that she is holding a royal purple brick, thinking it is a wall. They encourage her to place the brick back in the path and ask her not to give up on life. Peggy lowers the brick to the ground and courageously steps forward. Her future lights up. What frightens you is something much smaller than you know. If you are experiencing pain, holding on tighter will only worsen the situation. Your greatness awaits. I have a tremendous amount of personal magnetism. Am I willing to allow myself to shine? Not accepting your gifts. So you have these really strong gifts, and I feel like you have kind of been denying them. Yep, so you definitely have gifts here. Let's look at enlightenment. Excuse me. Your experience will guide others. So you're basically, because you're going to be like a shining light for other people. Like the things that you've been through and all your experiences, like with spirit, and things that you've experienced in this life, they're gonna be like a guide for others. And you have enlightenment here. If I seek peace, I must embrace my fears. So you have to start letting yourself shine. At this time, your journey is more important than your destination. Remember, if you face your fear, you will grow stronger. Relief awaits. The reluctant sage. So see, I feel like you've had all this knowledge and information, and you've kind of been reluctant to share it for some reason. You know, like maybe you were put down when you were younger, lack of confidence, you're worried people are going to laugh at you. Trusting your intuition. Yep, confidence. So it's all about having confidence to kind of share yourself with the world. Excuse me, Pisces. And you have wisdom. Sage. So that's twice you have sage. So you're basically a knowledge keeper. You're like a sage. You connect with the other realms very, very easily. This is the earth green, which brings wisdom, patience, and acceptance. Sage is perfect when you need to prove nothing, when you choose simply to be wise. There is an ability here to bring serenity to any situation. Yeah. So there's a lot in this row here about balancing your emotions. Okay, I think it's really, really important for you to do that. And to also just accept your wisdom, Pisces, you know. Honoring yourself, transformation, Stay present in the moment and do not let your thoughts jump ahead. So it's really, really important for you to stay present in the moment and like not worry about things all the time. And hey, I'm a Gemini. Like, I know what it's like, okay? But discipline is the key. God. Okay, what else for Pisces, please? Anything from this deck for Pisces? Might be a different deck. I'm not really sure which one that was. Let me just reshuffle. So there's a bunch of them. Anything for Pisces? Okay. You have insight and clarity. Okay. So you have insight and clarity have come out together. So this has come out underneath like this row about living joyfully in the present. Like living in the present and seizing opportunities, because something's going to come very quickly. Some kind of opportunity is going to come towards you very quickly, and you're getting like insight and clarity. I think it's very important for you to meditate and live in the present, so that when these opportunities come towards you, or this opportunity, you have the insight and the clarity to know what to do. Because otherwise I think you're going to panic. You know, because it could be like in the middle of the night, maybe you see a spirit or something, right? Or it could be like I'm trying to think of another example. Like obviously someone might call you out of the blue and offer you a job. You know, you might meet someone in a coffee shop and they might ask you out, and you might panic and be like, ah, no, and run away. But like if you're kind of grounded and you've done your meditation, you will be much more amenable to accepting what the universe has for you without panicking. Okay. And we're going to get one from this deck. Curiosity. That's been coming out so much. Capricorn and Aquarius had that. So maybe you have that in your chart somewhere. Curiosity. See life through the curious eyes of a child, and you will discover a never-ending source of happiness and excitement. Curiosity keeps you alive, interested, and interesting. The angels are inviting you to be curious about yourself. Start exploring who you are, and you will grow personally and spiritually. I actually want to get one more card for down there. You will grow personally and spiritually. Be interested in people and you will discover an eternal source of fascination. Be curious about the wonderful universe in which you live, about the angels themselves and their role in the divine plan. The radiance of your delight in life will illuminate you. Affirmation, I explore the wonder of life. So it's kind of time to stop like being afraid and really get out there and experience life and say yes. Say yes to the dress, baby. Do it. Now I'm going to get one more for down here because I think there's one more to come. Clarify that row here, please. You have amend. Okay, so give that to me again, Spirit. Give me a different card. Give that to me again. One more time, like I'm 5. Clarify that row for me, please. Blossom. Okay, so something's about to blossom here. Like something's about to, like you're going to be learning something And it's basically, it seems to lead you towards a whole new life, is what I want to say. It's going to attract abundance. So it's going to, basically, you're going to have everything that you want, you know? Like, you might not be a millionaire, you may very well be a millionaire, but you're certainly you're always going to have enough. You're going to have, you're always going to have plenty. Excuse me. And things are going to change very quickly. I feel like there's going to be an opportunity for you to learn something, and I think it's going to come out of the blue. Okay? But it's going to be like a whole new life for you. You know, whatever this is you're about to learn is going to blossom into something really beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, Pisces. I hope this was a useful reading. Many, many thanks for watching. If it was useful and you enjoyed it, hopefully, don't forget to like and subscribe for me if you feel like doing that, because, you know, it helps me out a lot, Pisces. And yeah, many, many blessings. Love and light.